Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pastor Jerone TV. I'm your host, Pastor Jerone. Today is another great day to be walking with God and to be in the light of the Lord. Want to talk about this thing with Charles Barkley real quick. He's getting backlash. He and Shaquille O'Neal are getting backlash from the black community because of their commentary and reasonable commentary on the Breonna Taylor case. I did a video yesterday breaking that down as to all the evidence that the media and the Black Lives Matter and the black proponents of the Black Lives Matter withheld from the black community and from the community at large. They shouldn't have did that. That's a lie. They're establishing propaganda to keep America divided. And it's going to be reasonable-minded, level-headed people who can be sensible and look at the evidence and come through with clear minds and clear ideas. Now, hey, it's taken old school minds like mine and Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal's to help this young generation, because I think this young generation has been fed so much propaganda in education, and they're smoking so much weed, and they're doing these exotic drugs. I think their minds have been zombified and messed up. They've been brainwashed in these schools. And so they believe a lie. They love lies because that's the appetite. That's the diet that they've been fed in these schools. President Donald Trump did something yesterday. I don't know if y'all know about it because the mainstream media didn't talk about it very much, but he signed an executive order fighting against ideologies. See, that's what the world system is. This is why God doesn't love the world. Because the world is a system of ideologies and philosophies that are against God. And this is why God said, he that is a friend of the world is an enemy of God. Because the world has a system of philosophies and their thoughts are backwards, away from the norm, away from what God has established. Yes, I did say God doesn't love the world. If you read John 3:16, the golden text of the Bible, you will notice that God loved the world. He loved it. And when he loved it, he sent the world a remedy. And those who receive that remedy are the ones who are brought into his love. And the ones who reject his remedy are the ones who are denied his love. Okay? So, and God's remedy was Jesus Christ, his son. He sent his only begotten son. But here's what this executive order did. And here's some of the little stuff it says. The president signed an executive order to end training sessions based on race and sex stereotyping and scapegoating in the federal workplace and federal contractors. This order will prohibit federal agencies and federal contractors from conducting training that promotes race stereotyping, for example, by portraying certain races as oppressors by virtue of their birth. Okay? Then it goes on to say, President Donald Trump order ensures that America's hard-earned taxpayer dollars support unity in our nations instead of promoting racial ideologies that divide Americans by their race or sex. And this is the propaganda machine that they've been feeding in our schools, our elementaries, middle school, high school, and colleges. And you're fighting against an ideology machine, and the mainstream media is involved in it. And this is why old school dudes like Charles Barkley still have a good mind. They have a good mind to think for themselves and look at the evidence. But it's these young kids, this new generation that is attacking Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. Because Charles Barkley said, hey, I don't think this is on the same level as George Floyd. And he mentioned somebody else. But he said because that young man shot at the police officer and hit him. He struck a police officer and they fired back. Okay? And Breonna Taylor was no angel, right? She was down for her men. She was down for him. She was down for her dudes. Okay? And so she did some things. She did some things, and you can just look it up. The evidence is out there now. She did some stuff. Okay, she's not an angel. And you know Shaquille O'Neal, he is a police officer. Shaquille O'Neal went through the academy. And he even purchased some police cars. I forget what state it was. I think it was Texas. But he purchased them some new cruisers. So he's all about the police. You understand? And so these young kids nowadays, they listen to anything and they believe it, especially if it's negative against authority. Because they don't know what authority is. They haven't seen authority. They were not raised under authority. You know what Jesus said about the man that was, he asked Jesus to heal his daughter. And he said to Jesus, and Jesus said, okay, where's your daughter? He says, well, she's at home. But he said, but you don't have to come. All you have to do is speak the word, because I'm a man who is under authority. He got that blessing because he understands how authority works. And unless you learn how to be under authority, your life is not going to make sense. Heaven won't make sense to you. Angels won't make sense. The Godhead won't make sense unless you learn order and authority. In the household, the father is the head of the house. The mother submits to him. The wife submits to him. And the children submit to both parents. But the final word of authority should come from the father. And because the Democrats did a wonderful job of plucking the black man out of the house when it comes to her being able to receive food stamps. You know, I remember having cousins and aunties and all kinds of stuff on food stamps and stuff. And here come them people knocking at the door and they're scrambling to make sure nothing is seen that a man is in the house. And that was by design. They wanted the man out of the black house and they did a great job. And so this Black Lives Matter is doing the very same thing. And now they've recently scrubbed their website from all of the anti-man stuff. Okay? The Black Lives Matter and this whole Democrat movement and all the protests is based on black men's death. But how often do they put this much effort into a black man's life? With the money that Black Lives Matter has been getting, they've gotten close to $1 billion. Why don't they put that money into a black man's life? Why aren't they going to the prison with education and all kinds of stuff? Why aren't they working with President Donald Trump on his prison reform for black men? Because they are anti-man. The Democrat Party is anti-man, and this Black Lives Matter is anti-man, and they're nothing but one bird with the same wings. Okay? See, the church should be helping folks, but the church is hurting folks because the church is democratic. They think with the liberal mindset. When the Bible, this is my Bible. I preach with this thing. It's ugly. But man, this is my little study Bible. And yes, it's got this very small letters. I have perfect vision. When the Bible teaches conservatism, you should let this wear this world like a loose garment. Don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Conforming to the world is conforming to this world's system and ideologies and ways of thinking. And yes, they even have a religious system that is anti-God, anti-Christ, anti-humanity. I had some people trying to attack me because I said some stuff and I called some people some names. I said, well, the Bible called names all day. Is the Bible wrong? Because it calls people sinners, whoremongers, winebibbers, alcoholics, sinners, sorcerers, witches, sons of the devil. Jesus had arguments with these people in the book of John, the Gospel of John. He had arguments with them all throughout the Gospel of John. He called them the sons of the devil. Understand? Vipers, snakes, pigs, swine. Okay? So if calling people names is unbiblical, well then Jesus is unbiblical and the Bible is unbiblical. This is your Western version of Christianity. You just let people say stuff to you and you don't say stuff back to them. That's not me. I read the Bible. And Christianity is about following the example of Christ, right? And if Christ could do it, I should be able to do it because my faith is based on him. I follow him. I look to him. I'm being changed into his image. I'm starting to look like him. And I want to act like him. And I've cast out devils and I've performed miracles in his name, just like him. But anyway, these kids' brains are messed up. And the Democrats, they love it. That's why when we on lockdown, we was on the COVID lockdown, smoking weed was a priority. Getting the alcohol was a priority, but going to church wasn't. Anything that would help you get out of this haze and this philosophy, this evil thinking system, was a no-no. But now President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to put a stop to some of this crazy talk. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole thing. I know I went off on a tangent, but I'm just a gospel preacher. I'm a gospel preacher. I'm a preacher. I teach and preach this word. That's what I do. I'm in it all day, all night. I sleep and dream about the word. I'm a preacher. But anyway, leave a comment and I'll see y'all on the next video.